Welcome back. Chapter 23, Charlie. Finally, that was my first thought when Simon tore my shirt apart, followed closely by, holy shit, that was hot. I arched my back as he tugged on my nipples. I wanted more Simon, more everything. Ripples of pleasure zinged my nipples to my clit. His big hands cupped my breast, and I reveled in the scrape of his callus against my skin. He turned the attention of his mouth to my other breast and rolled my nipples he just released between two fingers. The piercings added a whole new layer of sensation over anything I felt before Simon. At that moment, I couldn't imagine anyone but Simon ever touching me again. My eyes flew open at the thought, but my panic was obliterated when Simon lifted his head and nipped at my lips until I opened to him. His tongue swept inside to duel with mine. I lost myself in the moment and didn't surface until I felt one of his busy hands skim down my body to slide along the waistline of my pajama pants. He pulled away and stared down at me again. Are you sure? God, yes. What else do I have to say to get you to believe it? He studied me, and I had no idea what he was hoping to find. You have to know this means something to me. I know, I replied. Don't break my heart, Charlie. Don't break his heart, Charlie. I slid my hands up through his dark hair, hoping he could see everything I felt for him, everything I was afraid to put into words, not without shattering my own. Oh. He kissed me again, long, drugging kisses that made me forget who I was and the heartbreak I would inevitably cause us both. His lips shifted to my jaw, my neck, my collarbone before moving south. He hooked a finger in the waist of my pants and pulled them down, dragging my underwear off with him. I kicked him to the floor as Simon leveled himself off the bed and crossed to where his jeans were lying over my tiny vanity stool. He produced a condom from his front pocket, and I raised an eyebrow. Weren't you planning to hold out last night? Just wanted to be prepared, Boy Scout. He gave me a lopsided grin and tugged off his boxer brief. The teasing words on my tongue vanished. A fully nude Simon was awe-inspiring. He stood confidently and let me stare. My survey caught and stopped at his erection, jutting upwards, heavy and thick. I'd obviously been up close and personal with it this morning, but there was something insanely sexy about his self-assured stance. Hell, if I looked as good as he did naked, I'd pose too. Simon tore the condom package open with his teeth and rolled it on before striding back to the bed. He knelt and kissed my calf, the curve of my knee, and then the inside of my thighs. All innocuous locations, but my pulse hammered and I could feel myself growing embarrassedly wet. His hooded hazel eyes tracked up my body to my face. Wider, baby. I want to see all of you. Gotta taste you again. I complied, spreading my legs and bending my knees. His broad shoulders forced me wider as he bent to kiss a line from one hip bone to the other. I shifted, needing more, and he responded by darting his tongue out to flick my piercing before dropping down to lick me from bottom to top. My head thumped back against the pillow, and Simon's clever tongue worked me over. I buried my fingers in his hair and urged him on. He slid 2 fingers inside me and found the spot guaranteed to set me off. I squeezed my eyes shut and bit my lip to keep myself from moaning like a porn star as the orgasm rushed over me. My lids fluttered open to see Simon holding himself suspended above me. My breaths came in shallow pants as he leaned down to kiss me again. The taste of myself, mixed with his own unique flavor, spiked my need. Want you now. Completed sentences were beyond me. I just needed him inside of me, now, right now. He shifted to brace himself on one arm, and I felt the broad head of his erection nudge my entrance. You good? Just fuck me already, Simon. Jesus. So much for romance. He grinned and thrust. The porn star moan could not be held back as he stretched me deliciously. Holy shit, I gasped. Simon nuzzled my neck and nipped my ear. So greedy. Can a guy take it slow and enjoy the ride? I writhed against him, already feeling another orgasm building just from the friction of our bodies. But I needed him to move. Too much talking, not enough fucking. He chuckled and swiveled his hips, and my words disintegrated into breathy whimpers as the pressure of my clit and my piercing sent shards of pleasure shooting through me. That, again, more. He leaned down to scrape his stubble along my jaw. Withdrawing, he wrapped my legs around his hips and thrust deeper, adjusting his pace from slow to fast and then slow again. My hands shifted to his shoulders and my nails dug into the solid muscles. His alternating, impossible to predict pace, coupled with my piercing, had the intensity building up until I was on the brink. I held it off, wanting to make this moment last, to memorize this feeling. But the riots of sensation were intensifying and I couldn't stop myself. I stared up into Simon Hazel's eyes as it shattered me. So goddamn beautiful, he breathed. His pace accelerated once more, and I arched up, seeking the friction against my clit, then pulling away when it became too much. Simon, I got you, babe. And he did. He slid a hand under my ass and angled my pelvis up, relieving the pressure on my clit, but shifting his strokes to hit my G-spot. My vision faded as my eyes rolled back. Holy... I couldn't get out another word before another climax ripped through me. I felt Simon jerk and heard his groan. After a few more strokes, he slowed and collapsed onto me. He immediately pushed himself up, trying to save me from his weight, but I snaked my arms around his neck and pulled him back down. No, I like the feeling of you, on me, inside me. Let me enjoy it for a minute before you crush my lungs. He kissed my temple. Now who's a talker? Fucking destroyed me, woman. Jesus. Couldn't stop myself from coming. Can't imagine how good it's going to be to have you raw. A smug smile formed on my lips, and I couldn't help but think that maybe my dirty bad girl vibes have rubbed off a little on Mr. Polite as Hell Duchessness, because he was anything but polite in bed. I think my dirty mouth is rubbing off on you. You can rub your dirty mouth on me anytime you want, babe, but I'm afraid I was swearing like a sailor long before you. After all, I was a sailor. He lifted his weight off me slightly, but I was still pinned when he asked, "How old are you, Charlie?" Ooh, see, he's smart. Get her all. Woo. Okay. I took a steady breath. If I could trust Simon with my body, I should at least be able to trust him with the age of that body, 23. Auntie, she 23. His head jerked up and his eyes went wide. Whatever you're thinking, don't say it. I clenched my inner muscles, and the surprise in his eyes turned to searing heat. Let me get another condom. Good call. He pulled out of me and rolled off the bed to take care of the used one. He was digging in his jeans for his wallet when a loud buzz echoed in the small room. I didn't think my piece of shit cell phone was even capable of vibrating. Excuse me. So it had to be Simon's. Still naked, he pulled the phone out of the pocket and answered it. I listened to his side of the conversation while I shamelessly ogled his tight naked ass. Damn, the man was comfortable in his own skin. Thank you, Lord. What do you need, Martin? Pause. You're fucking kidding me. When? Pause. Shit. Okay, I'll be there in 20. Call our insurance guy and a retrieval crew and notify the client. Pause. I know, 20 minutes. Simon scrubbed a hand through his hair. He found his boxer briefs and pulled them on before stepping into his jeans. He turned towards me. I gotta go, babe. His eyes skimmed over my nude body, and that blows. I was hoping to stay in bed all day with you. I arched an eyebrow. I don't remember inviting you to spend a day in my bed. You would have. So cocky. I trailed a finger down my chest between my breasts. You're lucky I think that's hot. You don't play fair. My smile transformed into an outright grin as he watched my fingers continue down to my smile transformed into an outright grin as he watched my fingers continue down to my belly. Should I? Never. He crossed to the bed and leaned down to press a quick kiss to my lips. Wish I could stay, but I have to take care of something for work. A customer cargo is currently sitting on the bottom of the Mississippi, and I need to clean up this mess. I flipped the sheet up and covered myself, suddenly embarrassed that I've been trying to act the seductress when he had real world problems to deal with. It's fine. Do what you need to do. He pulled the sheet away, leaving me naked again. Like you better this way. He sat on the bed and cupped the side of my face in his big hands. Dinner tonight? I didn't hesitate. Sure. Wear a dress, a short one. My jaw dropped. He said, what? Seriously? You did not just say that. Oh, but I did. I huffed, tugged the sheet from his grip. Have you ever seen me wear a dress, let alone a short one? He leaned in and brushed his lips over the shell of my ear. I'm going to see it tonight, cocky bastard, I said, shivering from the contact. If it gets you into a dress, I'll be whatever kind of bastard you want me to be. I won the sheet tug of war and tucked it around me before crossing my arms over my chest. Maybe. No promises. I'll pick you up at 7, short dress, high heels. The same wild, just been fucked hair you've got going on right now. That's how I'm going to be picturing you all day while I sort this shit out. I bit my lip and shook my head at him. You're crazy. Only about you. His lips met mine for one more kiss. This was long, slow, and full of promise of what was to come. Finally, he pulled away. See you later, babe. He left the room and I heard the door to my apartment open and close. I uncrossed my arms and pressed a palm against either side of my face and rubbed upwards. I was in way too deep. I leaned over to snag a t-shirt from the floor and pulled it on. It was one of mine, but I wished it were Simon's. I wanted his woodsy scent surrounding me. Apparently, I now had 2 tasks for the day. First, flex my code-breaking muscles, and second, find a damn dress. Okay, that's the end of chapter 23. It was a little steamy there. Okay. So, he asked her how old she was. Is that anything to think about? Is he doing something behind the scenes? Or is he getting all the little clues that he could about her to search for her? What you think? What y'all think the reason he asked how old she was? But Auntie, I guess we got our answer now. She's 23. Well, that's all I got to say for this chapter. Like I said, it was steamy, a little raunchy, but it's okay. We all adults, right? We've been there, done that. So I don't have any definition words. So this is the end of chapter 23. I shall see you in the next chapter, chapter 24. Bye.